Ну что ж, нам осталось подождать, пока починит нас звездолет. И отправимся к самому главному злодею, к духу Рены. Да, давайте отдохнем.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevricht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Xion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah.
Ну вот все и поболтали.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Ну все, отправляемся. На последний бой.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena.
Ну, давайте посмотрим на
This
другую
is where everything
планету.
began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Ну, вся эта вода точно такая же, как Минантием. То озеро в пещере было. Ну, какие-то телепорты. Раз, два. Наверное, придется много проходить. Не сразу мы на последний бой попадем.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Везде витает темная астральная энергия.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Ого, 53 уровня.
Something off here?
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Да, когда их много, тяжело будет.
We'll soon see about that.
You picked the wrong fight.
Hold on to your heart. Here I go.
Sword Rain Alpha. Try this.
Gemini Aqua.
Blended Freeze.
Теперь надо уклоняться. Ну, может, сразу несколько ударим. Ну, они хоть уровнем и выше, но гораздо быстрее убиваются, чем босс тогда.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
Так, нам сразу направо.
We lose heart now. This whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
Вот здесь из угла есть.
To stop you dying?
Right.
Come one, come all. Try harder. The flame inside me. Yours to be let down. Do back. Do it. Stand back. In an instant. Impact claw. Now.
Illuminate the dark!
Mirage.
Inferno
Sword Alpha. Easter.
Holy land!
Dragon Swarm.
Here, let me help. Look sharp.
Explosive.
Divine savior! Hurricane strike!
Here I come. You're finished.
Hear me! Do it!
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
This should come in
Ну,
handy
это
when
было
crafting
легко.
weapons.
Ой, здесь даже сундучок есть.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's you.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Appreciate
Mega ray! Fall into my own depth! Your wings won't save you from me! Hurricane strike!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Ой, эти живучие.
Take this!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you! Dance in the wind!
Here I come.
Air blast! Attain going heaven and earth! Not on my watch!
I hate you so much, Reну.
Maybe my art
In an instant. Impact claw.
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem!
Lightning thrust. Lunar rondo.
Between heaven and earth!
Так, там вот горгульи, надо осторожно. Уклоняемся.
In an instant. Impact claw.
Illuminate the dark! Not much longer to go!
Boys, come on. One final push.
Let's do this together!
А, они все прибавляются, монстры. Да, когда же они закончатся, столько идет и идет. Наверное, очень много опыта получим. О, все. Я думал, еще будут.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Но какие-то новые ингредиенты для оружия дают. Может, мы где-то сможем сделать?
Fireman, is this? There are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
Сколько пчел? Взрывная пчела.
These things really get on my nerves.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Say no more. Got it.
Well done.
Say no more. Not again. Dragon swarm. All yours, Kisara. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. My turn. Luna Rongo.
A chain between heaven and earth.
Make it rain.
Lightning. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble. Step back. This one's all law.
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist.
Okay. Now we're not. Rising Phoenix. You're mine. Dragon Swarm.
Don't mind if I do. Here's the evil.
Here I come.
Embrace it.
Not today.
Here, let me help. First aid.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Illuminate the dark. Denied. Holy glimmer.
Ну да, достаточно энергичные бои теперь получаются.
Take this.
Pierce evil. Astral energy.
You picked the wrong fight. We've turned the tables on it.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Carve down the
My
wall.
turn. Here I come. Luna Rongo.
Blade.
You're
Dance
on.
in the wind.
I'm not done.
Sealed. I'll be saving
Sword
you.
Rain Alpha.
Astral energy. One at a time.
Here I come. You're finished. Dragon Swarm.
Pierce evil.
Shockwave Strike.
Freeze Lancer.
Luna Rongo.
Wind astral
Hit
energy.
Tom.
Lunar corruption.
Not today.
Lunar blast. Watch and
Sword Rain Alpha.
do it.
Kisara. Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision
Так, а куда мы здесь можем? Ого.
of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
Ну, давайте вначале зайдем туда-сюда. Угу. Ну, конечно.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Take this! It's over!
Get behind me! Where are you going?
I can carve through armor! Dragon Swarm!
Это будет долгий бой.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
And just like that, I'm back in. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Burn in hell!
Going in.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Heaven and earth.
My turn!
A whirling
In a
dandy of
vine?
lightning.
I'm not done!
Here's I'm all propped up.
Так, поджигаем.
Come here. Let me have one.
Blending Flash!
Так, сейчас Кисара своим. Давай теперь щит бы кинуть.
Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! Did it!
Ну вот, остался большой песик.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Бум.
Hurricane Strike!
Here I come!
Will this
You
help?
picked the wrong
That
fight!
one's mine.
Now you see what I can do! Can't get out of this!
My head's spinning just watching you.
A wailing dandy of lightning.
This one's mine.
Not on my watch. This one's mine.
This one's mine.
Dragon Swarm!
Damn it. Out of ammo. Let's get you all tucked away.
Так, бежим, бежим, бежим.
Not a chance!
Healing crystal.
I owe you one! It's over!
Perhaps now isn't the time?
Lightning meteor.
Blending Flash!
Burn up.
Tear!
So weak.
Quit pushing yourself and get behind us!
I'll be right away in no time.
Sword Rain, I'll smash you! Now I can't get out of this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Illuminate the dark. Magic.
О, попал. Ну, сейчас уже добьем.
Not today!
Готов.
I can't heal you forever. Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Бум. Вот и все.
I've used a bit too much healing.
Так, и что нам дадут? Собачий жилет.
More formidable.
Так, ну нам надо что-то съесть. Раз. И два. Идем дальше. Ну, это вот столько астральной энергии идет. Оп. Опять большой жук. Давайте его завалим.
I had a bad feeling about this.
Вот зря.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Dragon Swarm! Be still! Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
Here, let me help.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Отклоняемся.
You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm! Try this!
Надо на полную зажечь. Ну, неплохо. О, теперь очень больно ударим. Еще жив. Значит, этим бьем, он падает. И сейчас этим сожгем просто. Вот и все.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Not even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking.
Так, а нужны ли нам эти враги? Ну да, там что-то спрятано. Надо забрать.
Won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist.
Denied! Armor won't save you! You want me? In a vine? Come get me!
Insects should stay on the ground.
Going in! Try this!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Sleep now. Here's my call.
I'm gone!
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
Sword Rain Alpha! You're finished!
Freeze Lancer. Do it.
Johalim!
All yours, Kisara.
Not a chance!
Here's what the mark in handles it. I never miss. This is
Sword Rain Alpha!
Make it rain.
All yours, Kisara.
My turn!
Lunar corruption.
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite! Dragon Swarm!
Now. Frozen.
Hammer!
Nicely done.
All thanks to you! You're finished! Sword Rain
Healing
Alpha!
circle. What would I do without
Prepare to be seized!
Mega Red. Dance in the wind.
Dragon Swarm!
Do it.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Now! Take this! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Radiant light.
Not today!
Here.
Ну, а когда последняя пчела и осталась с таким большим количеством жизни.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Да, видимо, еще где-то будет магазин, раз нам и монеты дает.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Rising Spear!
This one's
Sword
mine.
Rain Alpha! Try harder! My turn!
That'll bring you down.
Damn it! Can't get out of this!
Glacial spear. Here's evil. Dance in the Lancer.
I can carve through armor!
Change between heaven and earth.
Да, блин.
You picked the wrong fight!
Вот теперь поджигаем.
With precision like that, I'm glad you're not on the other side.
Плохо получилось. Надо было не проронить, чтобы и остальным нанести урон.
Say no more!
Да, вот сразу двоих.
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
Хо-хо-хо-хо. Это большое. Мы пойдем сначала тогда налево сходим.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Provo what now?
Так, ну хорошо.
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Это же вроде такая же ящерица, которая как исчезает. Линия немного другая. Так, ну, надо осторожней. Да, точно. Сейчас тебе устроят. Свистнуть хотела. Ага. Вот не помню, нужна ли Ринвол для нее. Ну, давайте используем. Бум. Вот и все. Так, осторожно. Да, умереть можно. Сейчас мы тебе... Угу. Уклоняемся. Ай, убила. Обалдеть. Так, наша что у нас воскресила? Вот и все. Так, надо подлечить Альфина.
If you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Может, мы и там более мощный аксессуар сможем создать перед последней битвой. Так, на этих, я думаю, можно пропустить. Не особо много желания с ними сражаться. Только если там уже где-то какие-то ингредиенты понадобятся, можно будет вернуться. Опять ведь. Ну, здрасте. А еще и щитом сейчас всех. Может быть, сразу несколько.
end this battle.
I'm right beside you.
Try hard. Pistol.
Freeze Lancer! Switch round! Lightning condemned! I'm ready! Thunderblade!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until
Really
it's
strong
over.
out there. Frozen!
Hammer!
Ну, как-то быстро четверых.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Так, и что у нас здесь? Ну, конечно, кто-то большой встретится. И не один.
Whoa, this is amazing.
You always get excited when you find something good.
We should hurry and get this stuff processed.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Rising Phoenix.
Look sharp.
Burn in hell.
Where are you going?
Time to cross blade.
Mind if I do?
Far enough. I
Dance
can
in the
carve
wind!
through armor. Hurricane
First aid!
This one's mine.
There you go! Don't let up! Dance in the wind!
Shield and free.
Excellent! Power of water!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
I'm not done. No further.
Mega Raging Storm!
Ignite.
Dragon
Swarm.
Так, можно на полную зарядить.
Here.
Lightning condemned!
Sword Ring Alpha.
Shield.
Да, такой удар даже полностью заряженный больше, чем добивание наносит.
No escape. Try harder. Not escape. Sword Ring Alpha.
You're armed.
Blended Flash.
Don't mind if I do.
Armor won't save you.
It looks like you got this one covered.
Hurricane
Look
Splash.
sharp. Astral Energy!
Where are you going?
Hold nothing back.
This one.
Ну, сейчас тебе будет.
Coming through. Ha! Now.
О, надо шачки потратить на всякие эти приемы.
I'll heal you all!
The earth throbs in pain.
Ha! Burn in hell.
I can't heal you forever. I owe you, Sion. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. Pull myself together. Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more.
То, наверное, уже по 1002 накопилось. Нет, не приемы, а панель навыков.
I can feel my power growing.
Так, а нам дадут где-нибудь отдохнуть?